guys, my name is Jacksepticeye and welcome to Undertale! A lot of people have been asking me to play this game and I'm really curious about it myself.
So with Undertale being almost 9 years old now, I wanted to make a video just talking about Undertale since it's a franchise that I've really liked and I've always been invested into, especially because of like 2017, you had just sans from Undertale memes, you had your little Undertale trends on TikTok where people were cosplaying and doing just the most randomest shit ever, and generally just had a full-on Undertale takeover where the internet was just filled with Undertale memes and you just couldn't escape it. With all these factors such as the characters, the music, the personal experience I've had with Undertale, the YouTubers who were playing the game at the time and talking about it, it's made it so Undertale is now a really nostalgic piece of media to look back on and be like, the good old days. The way I'm going to be ranking this nostalgia is going to be using a nostalgia scale that I have right here, and it's going to go from 0 to 10, with 10 being something as nostalgic as Minecraft and 0 being something as nostalgic as the last TikTok that you watched or so. As I said, we're going to be talking about the elements that just make Undertale the amazing nostalgic masterpiece that it is today, with one of the most important ones being its music. Undertale's music is something that we can all agree can now be described as something nostalgic, with tracks like these that I'm convinced that everyone has heard from either a Tommy Innit stream or because one of the funny memes you saw on TikTok. The full Undertale OST is filled with countless songs where it's just, if you hear them now, are beautiful masterpieces of little nostalgic pieces of the game that you would hear when Jacksepticeye would enter like a new area in his Let's Play.
Fuck, man! Jesus Christ!
Honestly, just based on music alone, Undertale manages to do video game OST music in a way that's never really been seen before. Most games that you can compare the Undertale OST to, with its little nostalgic factor and how beautifully iconic a majority of the songs are, is to games like Minecraft. Now, no way am I saying the Undertale soundtrack is as nostalgic as the Minecraft one, but what I am saying is that it's somewhere near close to like the nostalgia feeling when you're hearing it back, as a majority of you have probably heard a bunch of Undertale songs and just haven't like realized it. Since 2017 to 2018, Undertale was practically everywhere on the internet, and it's practically unavoidable to either not hear an Undertale song from the game, not see a meme about it, or the most popular one, just not see Sans. The whole Sans meme got to a point where literally my mum knows about it. Overall, just based on Undertale's music factor, just basing Undertale on the nostalgic factor of its music alone and its OST, that alone is putting it on the nostalgia scale somewhere near a 7 or an 8. Next one I want to talk about is my personal experience with the game and the whole franchise itself. Now, personally, Undertale for me is really nostalgic, as when I was younger, I used to binge watch Dantdm's little live streams of it, and these were probably the best days of my life. I remember just staying up at 11, having my auntie babysit me, and little me was just like cuddled up on the couch, on the TV, watching Dantdm play Undertale on his live streams. I remember these live streams being 3 to 4 hours long, so it just lead to like me being up until like 2 in the morning or something. Not 2 in the morning, but 1 in the morning, getting yelled at by my auntie being like, yo, what are you doing? Why are you still awake at this time? And it literally just see me cuddled up on the couch, Dantdm on the TV, his whole live stream in Undertale, whatever. It's just me trying to binge watch it and shit. Honestly, that alone, just binge watching Dantdm's Undertale playthrough or Noah's live streams that I did in it, is really nostalgic to me. And I know that many of you probably have like watched Jacksepticeye's playthrough from it, and are probably questioning why I chose to watch Dantdm's, but being honest, Dantdm was my hero at the time. He was my favorite YouTuber. So for him to play Undertale, it really just got me into the entire game, the whole franchise and everything like that. And it created mine and a lot of other people's connection that they have now with the game. Honestly, just based on the nostalgic factor alone, I'm gonna have to give it a 7, since those were the glory days, man. Those were the best years of my life, just binge watching the Dantdm stream of him playing Undertale. So yeah, the next element that really makes Undertale nostalgic is its characters and its memes. And you cannot tell me for a little second, if you are in tune with Undertale, that first of all, you've never seen Sans before. I mean, the guy was practically everywhere, and honestly, the characters in Undertale were probably one of, and if not the best characters to ever exist in a video game series. Call it glaze, but being honest, I'm being real. You can call it glaze as much as you want, but being honest is fact. You had Papyrus being probably one of the most funniest characters in a video game series of his entire story, whatever. His little crush that he had on a Frisk, and him being like a skeleton or whatever, him being a little quirky guy and being a terrible villain and just failing at all of his traps. Honestly, the whole thing with Papyrus of his puzzles and every one of them just like failing and just not working on Frisk, since it was always just like a way to just cheat around the system, was a funny concept by Toby Fox that made a lot of people like me really love Papyrus as a character. That and his little quirky, kinky line. I'm not saying quirky or kinky ever again. Him and Sam's just entire segment of them just like being brothers or whatever, and Sam being like, yo, and them not knowing that Frisk was a human and stuff. Honestly, low-key, those two might have carried the character list. I'm just saying. Without those two, Undertale might not be as iconic. I'm just saying. Now, but being honest, each character brings something unique into the game, and I really want to just dive into it for a little bit. Yeah, Tutorial being this like little mother figure to Frisk and just like teaching her around the game. With the name Tutorial being a little bit obvious that it's meant to be like a little tutorial. And, oh, this is how you play the game. You can choose mercy, or you can just be a fucking psychopath and just kill everything in your way. Her as a character and being this like mother caring figure to Frisk was an amazing way to start the story of Undertale. Honestly, a really creative way to just bring you into this world and just teach you about it, with you having the choice to either kill Tutorial or spare her.
Oh my god.
And boy, oh boy, that decision was really important, because it was like, do you want to kill the one person who's been protecting you, gave you a home, fed you, gave you all this care and love and nurture, just so that you could kill them in the end? Or do you let her live? It's your choice. You had Flowey being the demonic piece of shit. Honestly, Flowey being the way that the game is introduced and started, and it just shows you that, oh, there's evil things in this world. Oh, there's things that are trying to kill you. Don't be so trustworthy. It's honestly such like a great concept in order to start your story and honestly make the game just more intriguing, because you don't know what's gonna be after you. You don't know what is a threat and what's not. You have to make a decision. You have to make the choice if you want to kill something or you want to give it mercy. And honestly, it just makes the gameplay of Undertale just so much more fun. Yeah, the little side characters that you could fight called like Napster Book or whatever, the little ghost thingy, was pretty funny. It was a pretty funny character from what I remember. Kept saying boo. And honestly, just a list of other like really funny characters with really funny dialogue, and then their own like little personalities just shown. You can just see with like the more you play the game, how much effort Toby Fox made into creating this world. Creating this world of characters, creating this world of just like having to make these choices, having to meet these people and decide, oh, do you want to show them mercy? Do you want to send them 6 feet under? It's like, honestly, just characters alone and everything like that, it's looking like an easy. Wait, hold on, before I tell you, I forgot the name of this one character, but this girl and this person, I forgot the name of them because I can't find it, but I'm just gonna say yellow fish and blue rock girl. She as a character was probably one of my most favorite villains that was in Undertale. I mean, her entire story, her relationship with Papyrus and everything, and then the chase scene with Frisk where you used the main characters having to run away and just try to dodge all of her attacks was just crazy. Honestly, to everyone that's played Undertale and gotten to a level, I honestly have no idea how you managed to get past. I'm gonna be honest. I was looking at the gameplay, I was being like, what the fuck? My fingers would have fumbled or whatever. But her entire story was amazing. For being introduced as this anonymous villain wearing this knight armor, mysterious but so dangerous to you and could easily just one-tap you in 1 second. One minute you're alive, the next minute you're gone because anonymous night slayers just killed you. Hiding and following Fisk around the game, it was honestly just like really, honestly, whenever she appeared, you know that your hands were in jeopardy because you were gonna have to be moving at 5 times a second. And as the game progressed, if you're getting more comfortable with Papyrus and her and Papyrus having this little relationship or whatever, this little dynamic going on, she eventually reveals herself in her armor, and it's just like this aggressive villain that you thought you were once fighting, who still is like really powerful, is at the same time really nice. Honestly, it's like one of the biggest like gotcha cards that like Toby Fox ever like threw out in the entire Undertale, like the entire story. With this character that you thought was gonna be the big villain that you were gonna have the most epic boss fight just to defeat because he was so powerful and everything, be like this pretty chill, nice person, okay? Maybe a little bit aggressive like sometimes, but like pretty chill, pretty good character. I mean, I would say the biggest gotcha moment is when Sunny just like turns into a fucking what? But she definitely deserves an honorable mention, as she didn't just raise the heart levels of me, but whoever YouTuber I watched who plays the game for the first time, they were also screaming their asses off when they got introduced to her. So based on characters and memes alone, I probably have to give it on the nostalgia scale at the moment a 9. Since every character is iconic, every character has their own personalities that just match well with the game and honestly make the game an enjoyable experience, and an enjoyable experience for you to watch if you're watching Jacksepticeye's gameplay or whatever. Generally, Toby Fox, you have blessed video game entertainment since, bro, this may be probably one of the most nostalgic games. I'm just saying. I was gonna do last but not least the story, but I'm pretty sure in that little explanation of characters and memes, I kind of just gave you like an entire little monologue about the story itself. But if I did have to give a little bit of a rundown / explanation, I'd say the story of Undertale is probably one of the most goated stories in video game history. I mean, you can't tell me that when you were introduced to the game and its concept that you knew what the ending was going to turn out to be. Like, the amount of twists, the amount of just plot hole changes, the amount of story changes to Undertale, it's like you never knew what was going to happen. You were always on the edge of just like not knowing. I had those moments where you sort of had an idea of what you were gonna do next, but at the same time it's like, yo, anything could happen. And Toby Fox, unlike many other games that try doing this concept of potholes, manages to use it so effectively so that one, it doesn't ruin the player's experience, you're still having fun when playing the game, and two, doesn't do too much to the point where like you don't know what's happening in the story anymore. When playing the story, you're introduced to a really big one, which is the tutorial thingy, the entire tutorial battle, and just like that choice of killing the person that's been nurturing you and caring for you being something so unexpected to many people who were really just getting into the game and thinking, oh yeah, so it's gonna be this sort of chill game where we have a person taking care of us and we just gotta fight monsters and shit. And it wasn't. Honestly, if you tried explaining the entire story of Undertale to somebody, I'm convinced that nobody can do it under a minute because of how complex the story is. And when I mean complex, I don't mean it's in like a confusing way. You need like a 5,000 IQ brain in order to understand the Undertale story or whatever. I just mean it's not a simple story that you can easily just sum up and just like easily explain to somebody in under like a minute or two. With the amount of twists and story changes throughout the entire game, honestly, Undertale's story is probably one of the most interesting stories to exist in any game. This, along with its characters, is what makes Undertale such an amazing masterpiece, and generally, overall, carries its nostalgia. Now, on a nostalgia scale, if I was to rate the story, I would probably give it a solid 9 out of 10. 9.5 in fact, bro. For being honest, Undertale's entire story was interesting from the start to the end. I'm convinced that not one person could tell me that they just didn't enjoy Undertale's story and just didn't find it interesting if you've actually like seen Undertale and seen the way the story goes. And honestly, those are my reasons to why I think Undertale has become a nostalgic masterpiece. This is a little Raeiko rant for you, just ranting on about a video game series that I like because it's gonna be almost 9 years since it first was created, and I'm recording this on the 13th. Hopefully it comes on the 15th, where it's gonna be 9 years. But if I was to rate on the Undertale characters on the tier list, I want to put them in A, but like I said B, can be an S, be B. Toby Fox, you can be an A, you're literally Toby Fox. Sunny, I'm not gonna lie, I really like Sunny as a character, even though endings, why is there just a plane? This doesn't work well out. This is my list on Undertale characters. If you disagree with it, then L plus Bozo. You're a bozo. Anyway, that was my little rant, little Raeiko rant for you about Undertale. I don't know how to end this. Bye.